Romans chapter 13, verse 11, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. First off, I want to say, call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. I send double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to y'all. I'm out there pushing the word, sincerity, and truth. This is Brother Ariella. And on this lesson, I just want to kind of talk about the news and some of the things that we've been seeing and been talking about throughout the past, I would say, 12 to 14 months. We're coming into the 1-year anniversary of COVID and the whole pandemic, and the rollout of the vaccinations has happened according to what we've seen and what we've expected. And we know that prophecy is continuing to ramp up. Yesterday or today, we just had a situation here in Texas where Governor Abbott announced that the wearing of masks in businesses is not going to be mandatory, and businesses are going to be able to go back to full operation. And Texas has been in the news for quite a few years, and recently being the whole snowstorm with the electrical grid issues and people's water pipes bursting, and they labeling Texas as being kind of that rogue state that was not underneath federal regulations and not being able to take care of people. And the whole sentiment of, hey, you guys need to come underneath the federal umbrella. We need to make sure that all of the residents in the United States are protected and safe. And with this last announcement that just happened, we see they are pushing this idea that the mindset of independent Texas sovereignty that needs to be crushed. And I want to play this clip right here and read a couple of scriptures to say, because Esau will say one thing, but you have to look into the order out of the chaos that's being stirred, okay? Order ab chaos. You know, he does one thing to stir problems, and he already has a prepared solution that he wants the people to readily accept. And the media has been very successful with indoctrinating fear, with indoctrinating compliance onto the American people, and really all across the West. And people are sucking down everything that they see, and now everybody's a scientist. Everybody is a top-level health professional. Everybody knows everything about these cloth masks and the implications of its protection. You can't, it's crazy. All right, so I'm going to play this clip, and we'll talk about it a little bit.
As we have learned over this difficult last year, is can policymakers and Americans together hold the virus at bay long enough that we can escape one more huge wave that costs tens of thousands of lives needlessly? And on that score, there's some really disturbing news today out of the state of Texas, which is, of course, still recovering from that disastrous winter storm and catastrophic energy grid failure. Today, Governor Greg Abbott rescinded the state's mask mandate and declared Texas open for business.
Effective next Wednesday, all businesses of any type are allowed to open 100%. That includes any type of entity in Texas. Also, I am ending the statewide mask mandate.
Did you hear that? You heard that. Just like that. No masks there of anyone in the room. Why would you want to wear masks if you're about to reopen the state? So Texas is reopening just like that, 100%. No business restrictions. No business restrictions. Think about that. Any business. There are lots of, say, nightclubs in Texas. You think nightclubs are...
People have the ability, what they're trying to do is take away your ability to choose. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want a mask, you don't want a mask, you don't wear a mask. It's up to you. If you want to go to a nightclub, okay. If you don't want to go to a nightclub, stay at home. But your ability they want to tell you what to think and do. It's for your safety. We're just trying to protect you. It's for everyone else's safety. Yes. And they try to make it seem like it's common sense when in all actuality it's the opposite. And there's a slippery slope of control here. Okay? So now you have the situation in Texas, which has already been labeled as a rebel state, opening up everything. And you best believe Governor Abbott and his team, they know spring break is right around the corner. They know that was a dangerous decision to make. But what do they want? They want chaos. Governor Abbott, he's making money from masks. He's one of the investors of a large corporation that makes masks, gloves, PPE. He's good. You know? So what is going on? When we read in the book of Sirach, the 12th chapter, and you go down to the 10th verse, it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. All right? So they come crouching. They want to tell you this. They want to say, hey, we're opening things back up. Business owners have been getting wiped out. You know, they don't talk about the economic impact. They don't talk about the domestic violence that's increasing in homes. They don't talk about the level of depression from people being locked up in their houses, people bugging out, literally, people having psychotic dreams. All of that stuff is going through the roof right now. Okay? They won't tell you about that type of epidemic that's happening. But they want to control. They want fear to be ingrained inside of you, because when people are fearful, they become compliant. They need more fear. There's not enough fear. There's not enough people taking the vaccine. They need more. Okay? And that's what they're building up. So that's why the scripture says, never trust thine enemy. It says, set him not by thee, least when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh unto wild beasts? So no one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity cometh upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. This is the state of things that we're seeing with Esau. They're playing these political games with people, okay? Now, with the rolling out of this, I guarantee you, they're rolling it out right in front of spring break. All of these kids are going to run. They're going to be hit. Bro, it's about to be lit in Dallas. Guarantee you. I guarantee you. Brothers that have been to Dallas, y'all know. Okay? People are going to be going out, eating out. Food trucks is going to be out. People are going to be at the park. The sun is coming back out. The springtime is going to be hitting. People are going to be out. And watch the news roll in that talk about how ridiculously high the COVID cases are. How out of control things have become because of this mandate, or because of the release of this mandate. This will lead into the justification of mandatory vaccinations, mandatory jabs. It will make people more complicit to rulership and being and coming underneath that umbrella. Okay? It's all these different games that they want to play with you. Okay? And they're just setting it up piece by piece. Now we have this narrative. Now, if you go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, especially people are arguing, people fighting over masks and no masks. Okay? literally fighting,
are a good thing to operate right now. And the mask mandate is repealed. Now, it is one thing when you say we're going to let businesses open back up, even though I think foolish with respect to certain businesses, but businesses really are struggling, right? There's this awful trade-off that policymakers are making. But there is no upside to repealing a mask mandate at this point in the pandemic. In fact, mask usage is what could help you open up more safely. I mean, take a look at these charts just to get a sense of what we're talking about here. This shows the weekly deaths recorded in Texas from the beginning of 2014 to the end of 2019. And what you can see, all those gray lines, year after year after year, grouped in a pretty narrow band, with a bit of an outlier here or there, but relatively consistent. Now look at what the pandemic looks like. Look what COVID did. Those red lines are weekly deaths from 2020 and the first few months of 2021. Both the gray and red lines are deaths from all causes, but it shows you just how devastating this virus has been. And yes, deaths have dropped down, but why would you want them to go back up? Not only that, Texas is behind much of the country in vaccinations. Less than 13% of the state has received at least one dose. That's near the bottoms of the ranking. And yet the governor of Texas thinks now is a good idea to repeal the mask mandate, as if that costs anyone anything. To open everything 100%, including like nightclubs.
Look at this guy, man. The way he's talking, you know, he's spitting all over the place. Why don't he have a mask on? Look at him. Every word sounds like a spit.
Despite all the federal guidance that masks are key to preventing a new wave of
Suffering succotash. It's ridiculous.
COVID cases and deaths. And it's not just Governor Abbott making this terrible decision. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves also announced his state would reopen and repeal mask mandates, even though their vaccination rate in Mississippi is barely better than Texas. And what makes this all the more maddening is that at the end of this week, hopefully, the Senate could pass the president's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package that will send much-needed aid to states and businesses and people who are unemployed. And
universal income. We will take care of you. Trust in us. Just take this money. Don't forget about your business. We'll send you a stimulus check. $1.9 trillion of debt. It's okay. This is America. We got you. Do what we say. It's for your safety. Put your mask on and shut the hell up. That's what they want. And they need a fight. They need a battle. They need chaos. They need people to say, oh my God, Texas, oh Mississippi, DC, all these people are dying because oh, now we need to come with the mask. All right? The book of Psalms chapter 36 verse 2 says, for he flattereth himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He have left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed and setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Okay? That's the mindset of the Edomite. That's the mindset of what we see that's going on. It's traps, snares, and nets, all to catch the poor, all to wrangle everybody into a singular order. They don't want you to have a sovereign mind. They don't want you to choose for yourself. They don't want you to be able to move independently of their rules and regulations and way. It seems little, but this is not little. Taking your ability to grow your own individual business, forcing stimulus packages down your throat, telling you to, you can only travel if you do this. You're restricting your movements and telling you that you have to listen to the way. We are coming into the times of the MOB system. It's called gradualism. They're gradually walking you into that, piece by piece by piece. And it's all holy hell is getting ready to break loose. All right? Job 15:35 says, they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity. Their belly prepareth deceit. And as they tell you more about peace and safety and taking care of you, meanwhile, they're setting up all types of draconian laws, constraint, and controls. And you best believe they're going to be hitting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans hard. Okay? I'll play a little bit more and I'll close out.
Those making less than $75,000 a year, basically designed to help everyone ride this out safely to suppress the
They shall seek to please the poor.
virus for the 8 or 12 more weeks it could take to get to a much better place. If only we can hang on collectively as a nation. I'm joined now by Gilberto Hinojosa. He's the chair of the Texas Democrats, and Olivia Troy, a former member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, who is originally from El Paso, Texas. Mr. Hinojosa, let me start with you and ask your reaction to the governor's announcement today.
Insanity. I'd like to say that the Governor Abbott has lost his mind by doing this. You know, when we have 90% of the people of the state of Texas that haven't been vaccinated, we're 49th in the country in vaccine distribution. We have some of the highest rates of COVID in the nation and the highest number.
I guarantee you that the Governor Abbott has tons of money in the pharmaceutical industry. Guarantee you that Governor Abbott is they sitting back in the room talking about, he's drinking some scotch on the rocks. Okay. And they're talking about how can we get Texans to take more of these vaccinations. And they say, hey, the numbers are not bad enough. They're going down. People feel safe. People feel like they don't need to take this vaccine, Governor. He shakes the glass. I'll tell you, this is what we're going to do, okay? Let's open it up. Open it up. Spring break's coming. It'll be great. Because he doesn't care if he has to resign. His pockets are going to be lined with pharmaceutical money. They just rolled out the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the one-stick vaccine. He probably got all types of stock in Johnson & Johnson. Okay? It's all games. It's all mischief. It's all craftiness. And the prophets have been telling you guys this, that they were going to do this. By the time we get to the summertime, or back end of the summer going into the fall, they're going to be rolling this all back into you, showing you, hey, we got to do this. We got to get this under control. We thought it was okay. Same thing with Trump. They're just putting it all together, piece by piece by piece. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travaileth upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Okay? So, as they prey on the minds of the people with fear porn, they're going to come with more and more of these interviews. People are going to be debating and arguing, mask, no mask, vaccine, no vaccine. This is going to continue to ramp up. They need these numbers to increase. They need to justify the increase to say, hey, the mask and the regulations were working, and now that we don't have the mask and regulations, look, trust us, believe in us, listen to us. Meanwhile, look, you all got COVID. Everybody got it. It's too late. It's over. Okay? Anybody that understands basic virology knows this. It's over. It's too late. But hey, whatever. For the sake of prophecy, all these things must needs be so. We are just here watching and reporting and telling you how it links with the scriptures. Okay? But I just wanted to do that, talk about this. It was an interesting kind of manifestation. And we're going to come in the next 90 to 180 days is going to be very interesting. They're going to continue to roll in more and more and more, mindset towards the MOB systems, and this is a part of it. You best believe. Call hello, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to you. I am out there pushing the word sincerity and truth. Shalom.